Welcome back to Cooking with Kayla D. I'm Kayla, and this is my husband Randy. My disclaimer: like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get all the up-to-date episodes. Today we'll be making Thanksgiving Enchilada Casserole. It's a great dinner if it's not around Thanksgiving or Christmas time, and also it is an easy dinner for leftovers. So let's get into the ingredients. This serves 4 to 6 people. 1 to 2 cups of stuffing or dressing mix, whatever you call it. 2 to 3 cups of mashed potatoes. 1 cup of gravy, turkey preferred. 1 cup of cranberry sauce, that is an optional ingredient. And 7 to 10 slices of thick sliced roasted turkey. Here's what I did just to show you, and I made it with just instant products today. I have my stuffing mix, my gravy, my potatoes, my turkey slices from the deli on a 3. It's just your typical. I'm going to follow directions on my stuffing box and get right into making that. I cooked everything in the microwave except for the casserole itself. It went into the oven. And I did bake that at 375 for 15 minutes. It was quick, easy, and fast. So I'm just following the directions on my dressing slash stuffing mix, and I'm just going to put that into the bowl and then put 4 tablespoons of butter on top. Also adding in the amount of water it calls for, mixing it up, microwaving it. I just microwaved mine for 2 to 3 minutes, stirring it, and it was ready to go. And while that's in the microwave, I'm going to go ahead and work on my potatoes. I'm just going to use hot tap water, and then I'll be microwaving it after I mix it. So I went ahead and put my 2 cups of tap water into the bowl, and then I added in the potatoes and a little tablespoon of butter. I like to add additional butter to mine, and mixed it up really good. And then once my stuffing was done, I went ahead and stuck that right into the microwave. And I microwaved that for 1.5 minutes. And then afterwards, you'll see I stirred in some heavy whipping cream just so it was almost like homemade mashed potatoes. You can also add any seasonings of your choice, like you would normally have your potatoes, or just use homemade mashed potatoes, which probably would taste a lot better. But for those that have a busy schedule, instant ones work just fine. Now I've got several paper towels down, and I folded them to fit my turkey slices. They are a little wet from the deli, so I'm going to go ahead and lay those on those paper towels, and then I'm going to take some additional clean paper towels and I'm going to pat them really well, getting all the moisture out of the turkey. The turkey that I got was a butterball. It was a whole turkey that was deboned at the deli, and it was just your rotisserie style roasted turkey. I had them slice it on a 3, and I picked mine up at my local Walmart. That it was perfect for this recipe. Now, of course, you can use any type of turkey you like, and if you're not a turkey person, you can always switch it up to ham. Ham always goes good with this type of a meal as well. But you're just going to continue to pat these dry, get all the moisture out of them. That way your casserole is not runny. And now our stuffing is done out of the microwave, so we're going to stick our turkey slices that we've dried down to the side, and we're going to put our potatoes into the microwave for about 1 to 1.5 minutes. We're going to go ahead and stir our stuffing and check it out, and it turned out perfect. It was nice and fluffy. It turned out really, really well. Went ahead and gave it a quick stir throughout just to make sure there was no dry bread pieces anywhere and that everything got mixed in evenly. So I'm going to set that to the side, and we'll get started on getting our sheet tray out. I'm using a little pie dish for mine, and I am going to spray mine with cooking spray. First, I want to open up my cranberry sauce and get that ready. So I'm going to open up my cranberry sauce, and here's a trick if you didn't know, but if you poke a tiny little hole in the bottom of the can, then it falls just right out of the can because you're just letting a little air in, and you don't have to fuss with trying to get it out of the can. But make sure to use a nice durable knife, because if you don't, or scissors, then you'll actually bend the tip of your knife. You don't want to do that. Make sure it's solid stainless steel. So now I have my potatoes out of the microwave. I'm going to go ahead and add in that heavy whipping cream like I told you. I always just add in about 2 to 4 tablespoons into mine. As you can see, the consistency of the potatoes are right now are like, nah, nobody wants to eat those. So I put in heavy whipping cream, and then it's actually really fluffy and they're smooth, just like you would make homemade mashed potatoes. And normally when I do my homemade mashed potatoes, I use heavy whipping cream anyway. My husband absolutely loves it. My family uses evaporated milk, but I did it with heavy whipping cream one day because I didn't have any evaporated milk, and oh Lord have mercy, those potatoes were the best potatoes we'd ever had in our life. So we opt in to use heavy whipping cream, and we keep it on hand all the time now. But as you can see, the consistency of those potatoes, yum 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 in our tum. So now we're going to get to building our casserole. You can use any size pan. You could double up this recipe if you would like. I went ahead and sprayed it with some cooking oil, and I'm going to go ahead and put my mashed potatoes in the bottom of my pie dish. And this was enough to feed us three, and we had leftovers. So just to give you an idea, we fed our neighbor and my husband and myself, and we still had 2 rolls that were left over. So you can put your potatoes on the bottom, and you want to get it into an even layer. Use your spatula or whatever spoon you're using and kind of just smooth it out. That way you have an even bottom, I would say, crust that you're building off of, or foundation. Now we're going to get started on rolling up our turkey rolls, our turkey enchilada, as you want to call it. I didn't know what to call it. This was a fun recipe to try to come up with a name, let me tell you. So anyways, you're going to take your turkey that you dried, and you don't have to warm it up either, it's cold. You go ahead and put your warm stuffing in there. If you do not like stuffing or cranberry sauce, don't even try to make this recipe. Just skip this recipe, pass it on to someone you know that would like it. But you can withhold the cranberry sauce. You do not have to put it in. We chose to use the whole cranberry sauce. Recently, we both have found that we really like that a lot better than the gelled. So we put about 3 to 4 tablespoons of stuffing and about 2 tablespoons of cranberry sauce. And you just roll it up like you would anything that you're rolling up. And you just stick it right on the potatoes with the seal down on the potatoes. You want the smooth side at the top. And then you're going to continue to do this until your pan is full of the turkey roll-ups. Our turkey roll-ups, it ended up using 7 in our pie dish. So that was pretty cool. It wasn't a whole lot, but if you're doing like for a bigger family or something, or a get together, or taking it to a church potluck or something, then you'll want to go ahead and maybe use a 9x13 pan, get a few more extra slices of turkey, maybe get the family size mashed potatoes, and 2 boxes of stuffing. Although at the end of the video, you'll see how much leftover cranberry sauce and stuffing I did have, but I did not have any leftover turkey because when I went to the deli, I specifically asked for 7 slices because I knew that's how many rolls would fit in my pan. So you can do that when you go to a deli and get meat cut. You can ask for a certain amount of slices. We do it all the time for sandwiches because just the 2 of us eating a sandwich, a lot of the meat would go bad. We don't eat sandwiches quite often. So we go to the deli and we'll ask for like 4 slices of provolone, and we'll also ask for like 4 slices of turkey for Randy, and like 2 slices of ham and roast beef for me, or pastrami, whatever I'm feeling. And then we bring it home and just buy a couple of the little mini rolls that you can grab in and buy one at a time. And we come home, we have us a little sub sandwich, and we didn't have to pay a fortune for it. It actually ended up being really cheap. So that's just a little tip for going to your local deli. You're just going to continue to roll these turkey roll-ups, putting the cranberry sauce and the stuffing in them. And once you have those rolled up, then we're going to go ahead and top it with that delicious gravy. What I did is follow the package directions, but I used hot water. I put 1 cup of hot water in my bowl. I mixed in the gravy mix until it was well blended. I microwaved it for 2 minutes. I pulled it out and then blended it one more time with my mixer, and as you can see, it was the perfect consistency as I did it on the stove, and I didn't have to make a big old mess and fuss with all of that time being wasted. I was able to just do it this way, whisk it right up, and boom. Now I'll go ahead and pour it right over the top of the turkey, and we'll be ready to get these babies right into the oven. You want to push your gravy aside. I ladled mine instead of pouring to make sure that I got an even amount of gravy over the entire dish. You can also add cheese to this if you'd like. If you want cheese on your mashed potatoes before you put your turkey, or you just want like maybe stuffing and cheese, no cranberry sauce, however you want to do this recipe for your family, go ahead and do it that way. That's the one thing about cooking recipes. You can take someone else's recipe and get an eye for it and then turn it into what your family would like, you know? That's the versatile, wonderful thing about recipes. You change them to suit your family. You don't have to follow them to a T. You just take it and use it as kind of like a base model. But there you go. We got the whole pack of gravy on top of our turkey. And now I'm just going to do it just like this. Just stick that pan right into the oven. And I'm going to cook it 375 for 15 minutes uncovered. And it's just to warm the turkey up and just to make everything kind of come together. That's about how much cranberry sauce I had left, say about half a can. And then I had about a cup to a cup and a quarter of the stuffing mix left. So I just went ahead and threw that in the fridge, and then I had me a little snack a couple days later. But now we're ready to go ahead and take our enchiladas out of the oven. So what do you think? Thanksgiving enchilada casserole. And the one thing I liked about this recipe is how easy it was to make, especially if you're a busy person. Or you don't have much time, or you're just wanting to do something easy because you just don't feel like cooking. This was a great meal for that. Plus, we got a little taste of Thanksgiving way before Thanksgiving time. So you just go ahead and serve it up like that, scooping it out with a spoon right onto your plate. There are a few mashed potatoes that didn't get scooped up. All I did was I just scraped where those two pieces were, just like that, and then plopped the potatoes right next to my rolls. And then boom, I got all the mashed potatoes and the rolls, and it served up a full plate. 2 rolls filled up an entire dinner plate. So when I tell you that this meal feeds a lot of people, I am not joking. Look at that. That was a huge plate full of Thanksgiving enchilada casserole. Thank you for being here on Cooking with Kayla D. We thank you for joining us once again. We love having you here, and we have some pictures for you at the end of Myrtle Beach as always. We always say, stay in that kitchen and keep on cooking. God bless, and have a wonderful rest of your day. And our pictures as promised. We had Jeep Week here in Myrtle Beach, and the Jeeps rolled out to the dunes and the beach, and we're strolling up and down the Grand Strand. So here's a picture that was sent in by a viewer, and one more that we picked up off the internet as the Jeeps were cruising up and down the Grand Strand. They had a wonderful time. Myrtle Beach is such a fun place, and we hope one day you can come and visit us here. Here is a beautiful photo of the sunrise over the ocean as our beautiful little friend was waking up and grabbing himself a snack.
And whatever you do in word or deed, do all in the name of the Lord Jesus, giving thanks to God the Father through him. Colossians 3:17.
You can subscribe to our channel by clicking the icon here to the left, or click the icon here to the right for some delicious comfort food recipes.